We work for the American people. And the Constitution, Mr. Speaker, gives this House the explicit authority with respect to tariffs. Working class Americans, middle class Americans, and everyday Americans are suffering because of the failed Trump Republican economy. Donald Trump, his words, promised to lower the high cost of living on day one. More than a year later, in the United States of America, Mr. Speaker, costs haven't gone down, costs have gone up. Housing costs out of control, healthcare costs out of control, childcare costs out of control, electricity bills out of control, and the price of groceries and everyday goods completely out of control. And one of the reasons why the cost of living continues to crush the American people is because of the Trump tariffs, which have imposed thousands of dollars in additional costs on everyday Americans, making life even more expensive.
I want to remind my friends on the other side of the aisle that the Supreme Court heard arguments on November 5th on this very issue. Our extension of the tolling days is something Democrats did themselves back in the 116th and the 117th Congress. Unlike when they did it, ours has a clear end date, sunsetting in a matter of months, unlike the blanket prohibitions of COVID NEA resolutions under Democratic rule. This extension will allow the Supreme Court the time necessary to provide a ruling on this extremely consequential issue. And it is just amazing to hear the arguments about affordability while they presided over an era of government that exploded our national debt, exploded prices, not to the tune of $1,000, but tens of thousands of dollars on Americans across the board. The question of affordability that they all of a sudden have gotten into their hands is rich, given that they presided over the worst inflation spike in 40 years. Under President Joe Biden, families paid more for everything, for food, for housing, transportation, energy. It all exploded on their watch when they ran 3 houses of government. Energy prices surged roughly 20%. In many parts of the country, electricity rates rose 30%. Democrats didn't just miss the problem, they caused it, and then they put their hands over their face and pretended like everything was okay. Those weren't abstract numbers. Those were kitchen table realities, and they remain kitchen table realities for working families who were lectured by Democrats to be patient while this transitory inflation that they claimed, they just spent trillions of dollars more and inflamed the problem all the more. And the difference today could not be any clearer. Gas prices are coming down. They're at their lowest level in under 4 years. Real wages rising again. Regulatory costs are finally being rolled back after years of Democrats using regulations as a weapon against affordability. President Trump and congressional Republicans are cleaning up the mess left behind, undoing the damage of the Biden economic policies, restoring confidence in rebuilding an economy that works for people who actually earn a paycheck. And that brings us to the rule before us today. The 3 bills under this rule all address affordability in the real world. They reduce unnecessary delays that drive up costs. They protect infrastructure Americans rely on every single day. And they support domestic production so families are not left paying more because Washington shows delayed dependence and dysfunction.